Hello! Hello, everybody, and welcome to day number 3 of my personal metamorphosis journey. Thank you so much to everybody who has just been so supportive over the last couple of days since I announced the launch of my new book, Metamorphosis: How I Shed the Life That Others Wanted from Me and Learned to Live My Authentic Life. So hello to everybody that is watching me live. If you are here, please just make a note in the comment and say hello. I always like to know who is joining me. So before I get started, for those of you that I do not know, I am T. Renee Smith. Hey Lee, how are you? A certified business and life coach, and I help women to build profitable businesses while raising extraordinary kids and rekindling the fire in their marriage. So today is day number 3, guys. As I launch my new book, Metamorphosis, I wanted to take you guys on a journey with me so you know some back information about the book, about my life, and why I really chose to write the book. So yesterday, I kind of just talked about when I suffered 2 miscarriages, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that has written text. I mean, people that I didn't even know that had suffered similar things. So thank you for that. So today we're going to talk about really finding happiness within yourself. One thing that I always say to my clients and to people is that you are the one that is responsible for your happiness. It's not anybody else. It's not your job, your business, your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, anybody. I know a lot of times we tell ourselves these personal stories about why we are where we are in our life. But if our life is not where we want it to be right now, if we're not experiencing the things that we want in our life, it is up to us to make the changes. So today, guys, y'all know that over last weekend, I was going back through all kinds of pictures and boxes and just looking at things as I got ready to launch this personal metamorphosis journey, and I came across some stuff which is so funny to me. It was articles, guys. When I first started my first business, I was 19. I'm 41 now, so that was well over 21 years ago. And the businesses, they were doing really, really well. I had a marketing company, an information technology company. I worked in the family business of construction and had a record label, and so that garnered us a lot of attention in the industry because we were doing well. And so I was featured in all kinds of magazines, from Cosmopolitan to Entrepreneur Magazine, etc. And I don't say this to brag. I say this very humbly, and I'm going to have a message behind it. So I'm just going to show you guys some of the articles that I had found. So this one right here was when I was in Cosmopolitan. These are just color copies, not the original copy. But yes, that's me. I was probably, I don't know, about 20, 21, maybe 22 years old there. Here's another one when I was in Entrepreneur Magazine. Right? Looking all confident, right? And here's some more, right? Y'all see that smiling face? Hey, Regina! See? Keep going. Y'all, it looks like everything is perfect, right? The reason why I showed you that is behind that smiling face was such an insecure woman, somebody that was not confident in herself, somebody that derived her worth and her value from material possessions, the way that I dressed, the way that I looked, the way that people responded to me. And even though I had all of this attention, you know, from the media and from other people, I did not feel worthy. And what this whole experience taught me is that your value and your worth, it comes from you. It comes from within you, not other people externally validating me. Because during this time in the business, it was all this external validation of you're doing well, you're young, you're growing, you're successful. But inside of myself, that was not how I saw myself. So a lot of times, often, people will see us totally different than how we see ourselves. And regardless of what kind of car we're driving, what kind of house, what kind of shoes we're wearing, what kind of clothes we have on, if we don't feel confident in ourselves, if we don't have self-love, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says. And this really hit me when one day I was living in an 8,000 square foot house. I had 3-car garage. I had a Mercedes in one, a Mercedes S600 in one, a Mercedes convertible and another one, and a Hummer in the 3rd-car garage. I had a huge walk-in closet with all kinds of designer clothes, Jimmy Choo boots, Louis Vuitton bags, and everything. But I was so miserable. miserable. I was in a verbally and mentally abusive relationship. I didn't like what I was doing in the business. And on the outside, it appeared that everything was going well. People wanted the life that I had. But on the inside, I was just miserable. And so fast forward, when I actually got involved in the legal case, one day I walked in and I had all of this stuff. The next day I was forced to move back in with my parents. And when I moved back in my parents, I moved back in the same room that I grew up in, and I completely lost all of my material possessions, but I completely lost who I was. Without those things, I didn't know who I was. And so that was the best thing in the world that could have happened to me. I didn't know it at that time because that started my self journey of self-discovery. And I think I was about 30 years old at that time. And so this has been an 11-year process of really learning how to internally validate myself versus looking externally. Because I used to be in relationships, like a lot of the clients that I work with, or a lot of people that I know, they're in relationships and they are gaining their value and their self-worth from the relationship or the marriage. If everything is going well, then they're feeling good. If it's not going well, then they're not good. Same thing in business. If they're making sales or in their job, if they're climbing the corporate ladder, is good. But then when failure happens, when disappointment happens, they don't necessarily know how to deal with them because they are externally validated instead of being internally validated. So the thing that I wanted to just share with you today, it doesn't matter what's going on the outside. It doesn't matter what kind of accolades you get. It doesn't matter what kind of material possessions that you have. What matters is who you are. What is your integrity? What is your character? What are you built on? Are you substantive? Are you full of substance? Do you derive your worth and value of knowing that you're a child of God, of knowing that you're a good person, of knowing that you're trustworthy and you walk in honesty and that you have good character? So if today you are being validated and your self-worth is coming from how somebody else sees you, what somebody else says about you, today is a day to turn it around and to start validating yourself and knowing your own self-value and self-worth. One key thing that I often remember, I can't remember where I learned it, but is we teach people how to treat ourselves. We teach people how to treat us. And so if we want respect and if we want other people to treat us with value, then we have to value ourselves and we have to treat ourselves with respect. So if we know that we're in relationships or we're in friendships that are not validating us, it's more like they're tolerating you or celebrating you, then those are not relationships that you want to be in. It's interesting because I've had this conversation probably with about 4 women in the last couple of days. And basically what they're saying is, I see God moving in my life. I see me going through to different levels in my business. And what I'm noticing is that the people that are in my circle, that I'm outgrowing them, that they're still at the same level and I'm outgrowing them. And I don't feel celebrated. I don't feel challenged in those particular relationships. So for you that are going through that, know that it happens. The further that you go or the higher that you climb, the smaller your circle is going to get, because only certain people are going to be able to go certain distances with you. So understand that people are in your life for a season, for a reason, for a lifetime. And once you understand that if they're not in your life for a lifetime, then bless them and let them go. So guys, today is all about valuing yourself, not looking towards external things to make you happy or to gain your self-worth. That is what you have to do. And that means taking time, spending by yourself, with yourself, and being honest with who you are. I was listening to T.D. Jakes this morning on the way taking my kids to school. And he was talking about if you never confront something, you'll never be able to conquer it. So those areas in your life that you know you need to confront, dealing with your self-love and dealing with your self-esteem and your confidence, go ahead and confront those so you can conquer them. So guys, these are just some of the things that I share with you in my new book, Metamorphosis, which talks about my personal journey from shedding the life that others wanted for me and learning to live my own authentic life. So I encourage you to please get a copy of of this book, you can get it at trenesmith.com/books, trenesmith.com/book, because it is very authentic and it's very transparent, because a lot of people see me where I am now, but they don't understand what it took to get me there, and heck, what it's taken to keep me here, as far as being humble and learning and growing and a million and one other things. But guys, thank you so much for taking this journey with me over the next 10 days. Today is number 3, and it's all about loving yourself and not being validated by external things, but being validated internally. So remember that you're great, and there's greatness on the inside of you. And when you walk in your light and you let your light shine, it encourages others to do the same thing. So guys, I'm T. Renee Smith signing off, business and life coach, helping women to build a profitable business, rekindle the fire in their marriage while raising extraordinary kids. Get your copy. Metamorphosis. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.